Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to be making a heart that's inspired by Mondrian. And so to start with, we're going to need a piece of white paper to make our heart shape. And Mrs. Walker has some heart templates that you can use. If you put it on like this, you'll see that it won't quite fit. But if you turn it this way, and it'll just barely fit. See how it just barely fits? You're going to trace that with a pencil. Mine kind of feels like it went off over there, but I know it'll be okay because I have the edge just on. See how it's just exactly there? And then you're going to cut that out. I'll pause it while I do that. Okay, I'm back. I almost have it cut out. I did want to talk to you about this though. I do want you to take your time and cut right on your line so it has a nice smooth edge. Do first grade cutting. It should look like a first grader cut it, not a kindergartner, okay? And then you're going to throw your extra scraps away, and Mrs. Walker will have a pile of strips, black strips, up at the front of the room. You're going to want to come up and get a total of 5. Don't take more than 5. 5 is the most you can take. You can take less than 5, but not more. And then you're going to want to, you're also going to want to return your heart template to the front of the room. So when you go up to get your strips, just take that up there if everyone at your table is done with it. And then you're going to start kind of playing around with those strips and decide, where do I want them to go? Do I even want 5 strips, or do I just want 4 strips? You could line them all going horizontal and vertical if you wanted. But what I want you to really pay close attention to is the spaces, the shapes that the white space is making after you put these on, because you're going to be deciding where to put your primary colors, your red, yellow, and blue colors. So based on that, you want to make sure you like those shapes. So like I wasn't sure I liked all of them to be the same, so I think I'm going to turn this one. And you're going to cut off the extra, so that part doesn't really matter. Sometimes it looks nice. Oh, I like all those triangles. Look at there, I got 2 triangles. A triangle here. That's an interesting shape. I think I might keep that. Now this looks really big to me, so I might break that up with another one here. Anyway, once you have decided what you're going to do there, then you need to get your glue. And I am going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. I didn't have my glue bottle over here. So the tricky thing here now for me is once I lift these up, I know they're going to mess each other up, so I just got to kind of remember where they were. So I'm going to set those aside and take my bottom one, which I think was this one, and just put, now this is the important part, guys. If you put too much glue on here, when you go to start doing your coloring, you're going to have a messy mess for your crayons to be in. Okay, so we're going to put this one, I had one in the middle here, and ooh, now I've kind of forgot where they were, so I think I had one going this way. Yep, I did. So just one little bead of glue down the middle, and you notice I'm not going all the way to the ends because I know it didn't reach all the way to the ends. Now if I would put this on here and I could lift it up and see there's no glue right there, I could go ahead and add just a little dot of glue right here because maybe I didn't go far enough. But you don't want it coming out onto the desk or table. And look at, see, even some of mine is, because on this one I probably went a little bit too far. But try not to put too much glue on there, and that way we won't have a big old glue mess. And when you're done, definitely get a sponge and sponge that glue off the table, because once it dries it's kind of hard to get off. Alright, so I've got that, and I remember one going across this way. I may end up with a totally different pattern here, because now I think I like it like this, so I can see my triangle here. Now I only see one triangle, so I know I had a bunch, and I know I had a big space over here. So this one was here. Oh, maybe it was like this. Yep, that's what it was. So I had one that went across like that, and I'm looking at this space mostly to see if I like it. Yep, I like it like that, because then I have triangle, triangle, triangle. Ooh, I even have another triangle there, and I have some other interesting shapes here. So that's how I'm going to do mine. Now, will everyone's turn out different? Yes, they will, because we've all got different opinions about things, and that's good. That's what'll make these fun, is because they'll all be unique and different. All right, so there it is. There's my last one. I may have done too much glue on that one. I can see it going off a little bit. Now, once you have those done, maybe count to 10 or something so that you give it a little bit of time to dry. And then you're going to lift it up. And it's easier to see this if you flip it over to the back, and you're just going to carefully trim those off. Ooh, mine are kind of loose, so I probably should count, maybe count to 50 here. I'm going to pause this while I do that. Okay, I'm back. I counted to 50, and I think these feel like they're a lot more secure on here. My glue is more dry. Oh, like I was saying, it's probably easier from the back, to cut from the back. And you want to cut, again, right along your heart shape. Okay, and you just want to get rid of those parts of your black strips that are sticking off. I'm going to just cut in there and cut in there so I don't mess up my heart. There we go. All right, and then of course those all go into the garbage can. So now I'm ready to use my 3 primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. And I've got to make some decisions about where I want color. Now on Mondrian's art, he leaves some of his areas white. Actually, he leaves quite a bit of it white. So I'm going to start with red. I think I'm going to do a nice big bold. I like red, so I'm going to do a big bold red area. I think I'm going to do this corner red. So what I want you to do is get your red and really color it in bright. Okay? Back and forth, back and forth. This is not what we're looking for. We're looking for color that is solid red, okay, or solid yellow. So when you get to the edges here, you may even want like a messy mat or a piece of scratch paper there. Probably a messy mat would be a good idea, because in order to get right to the edge, I'm going to have to color on the table, right? And I don't want to color on the table, so putting a messy mat or a piece of scrap paper under there is a good idea. And you want to do that until you have it all colored in, okay? Ooh, I can see where my scrap paper, you definitely want a messy mat, because see how it's putting a little line there. Now, once you have the red colored in, now you can do more than one red area. Right now I only have one red area, but I think I'm going to want more red. So I've got this one here, and you want to think about how you can balance your picture. If I put all the red over here and then blue here and yellow here, then it isn't going to be very balanced. So I think I might put a little bit of red here. Oops, I'm going to put this on the edge so I can get right up to the edge. There we go. And then right up to the edges of my black. All right, so I'm going to stop with the red for now. I feel like that's all the red I want. And I'm going to put in a little bit of blue. I think I'm going to leave my 4 triangles white and make this blue over here. Maybe I'll end up making those yellow. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. Sometimes you just, as you're going, you kind of get a feel for where you think you might need the color. I'm sure that's probably what Mondrian did. He probably moved his around a lot until he knew where he wanted them. All right, so I've got blue and red, and I think I want to put my yellow right here in the center. So draw your eyes. Oops, I think I'm getting close to the edge there, so I'm going to put this underneath just to make sure. All right, and when you have everything colored in that you want colored in, okay, be sure to leave some white. Do not color in every single space, okay? I could probably color in one more. Actually, I think I probably should. I think I should color this one in. And then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that aren't colored, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are. So I feel like that would make a good balance, okay? Once you have all of them colored in that you want colored in, the next step is to get out the large heart tracer, because now we're going to make an even bigger heart. You'll also need a giant piece of black paper. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. Take my black paper, and remember for the smaller heart we use the medium heart template, but this time you want the bigger one. It's bigger. It's just big enough to make a nice black frame around it. So I'm going to use the bigger heart, put it on one of these pieces of black paper. And here's the thing about the black paper. We should be able, I believe, if you put it right in the corner like this, I think two people, I'm going to try this really quick and see if I can get 2 hearts out of one. So that means you could probably share this with a partner. Yep, you should be able to get 2 hearts out of one piece of paper. Okay, we don't want to waste. Now, if I were to put this heart on here any other way, would we be able to get 2? No. So you have to kind of put it in the corner like that. And I may actually cut the paper apart in a weird way so that you guys can share a piece, because we don't want to waste paper. I'm going to pause this while I cut out my black heart. Okay, I'm back. I've got my black heart cut out. I have my Mondrian inspired art heart, and I'm going to glue them together. Now, do I need glue in the center? No. I just need a thin line of glue right around the edge here. Not enough so that it'll squirt out, just enough so that it'll hold it down to my black paper. And then I'm going to, this is the tricky part too. When you put it on here, don't just slap it on here any old way. I want you to actually make sure that you have almost an even amount of black all the way around. The black should be about the same width as those strips of paper on all sides. And then once you do, press it down. And the last thing you've got to do is make sure, now that you've cut all these things out, make sure that your name and your class is on the back of this. So you're either 1A, 1B, or 1C. And then you're going to put it on the drying rack, because there's a little bit of wet glue there and we don't want them stuck to each other. Okay? And you're free to go to a station once you're finished with this part. Okay? Don't forget your name though. That's probably the most important thing. Alrighty.